Hello everybody, welcome to Values and Beliefs. So this week we're going to be looking at what values mean, what beliefs mean, and how that might interact with Saturn as Saturn goes around your chart. With the idea that Saturn might actually be resting in particular parts of the chart and highlighting the importance of certain values and beliefs that you hold. And then at the end of the video, we'll be looking at what that might actually mean. What are the implications for us in our daily lives? What does that mean for us holistically? What do we take from Saturn? How can we move our lives on? And what does that mean for our coaching journey, for the way we configure our life? So I'd like to just explain what values and beliefs are for a moment, and then look at the way that these can be conflicted and cause us problems. So, beliefs are opinions that we hold that may not be true, that they may be formulated out of our experience or something that we've been told, and we don't necessarily question them, or we haven't put them to the test. So you might believe that you can't do a skydive, or that you can't run a marathon, or that you can't do maths, something like that. Values, however, are things to do with what you hold as right and wrong, judgments that you have, ideas that you have about intrinsic worth of certain things. So examples of that would be honesty, trust, even words as simple as good and bad are values. Often the opinions that we have about other people are values. And where this becomes problematic for us is where our values and our beliefs conflict with our own behaviours. So when I'm saying that I want to be busy and I want to make money, and I value making money, but I'm lazy and I'm watching the TV all of the time because I want to watch tennis, for example. That's conflict. We're conflicted, and that confliction makes us unhappy. So what have value and beliefs got to do with astrology, and in particular, what have they got to do with Saturn? Well, the interesting thing is that Saturn travels very slowly around our birth charts, and it transits each house and star sign in the zodiac for around 2.5 years, and its total period to go around the solar system in years is 29.5 years or thereabouts. So it takes a very long time, and as it goes round, it shines a light into a particular segment of our experience, and that has a lot to do with values and beliefs, because Saturn is somewhat like an inspector, and he comes along and shines the lamp of inspection on your values and beliefs and exposes them. And as he goes through things like communication, perhaps relationships, perhaps travel, all of these things, Saturn has the ability to look at the good decisions and the bad decisions that you've made, what your core values are, and how they're working for you and how they're not working for you, and brings up all this stuff. And that's why Saturn's known as the malefic, because sort of bad things tend to happen. But bad things don't tend to happen if we've made good decisions. And so one of the things that we can do when Saturn's actually transiting through one part of our chart is we get a chance to actually examine the decisions that we've made in that particular area. So this is really important to think about, actually, and gives us an opportunity for reflection. So if you know that Saturn is transiting a particular area of your chart, you might like to do some work around what that implies for you. You might want to do some digging, some soul searching, some reflection. on why those things are coming up now, and if you were to take an audit, what would that mean? So some of this auditing can be really hectic. I mean, it's not like life is without very difficult circumstances that we have to go through. And sometimes our values and beliefs are forced to really bend to terrible circumstances. And if we were going to pin it on an energy, then we'd have to pin it on Saturn, this malefic energy. And that's demanding, really demanding, hectic for some people in some circumstances. So I've come up with 5 tips that I want to offer you for dealing with the auditing function when we need to be introspective in our lives, because Saturn's moving around our chart and bringing stuff up. And these are my 5 top tips. First of all, I suggest that you get a life coach to help you set excellent goals for your future, where you can examine your core values and beliefs. Secondly, I would suggest that you join a program if you need to. And the best program that I think is available is the 12 Steps program. It's particularly good for addictions to do with drug and alcohol, but there are other groups out there that meet for other problems like overthinking, addictive worrying, gambling, sex addiction, and you name it, there's a group for you out there. The third tip that I would come up with would be meditation, because a daily spiritual practice is extremely important for you, and it gives you a chance to really reflect on where you're going and what's happening. The fourth tip that I have for you is to learn from those people around you as much as you possibly can, and teach others as much as you possibly can. Saturn really does love boundaries and interaction between people and community, and that's really how we grow. So that's my fourth tip. And then lastly, I would suggest that you forgive yourself for absolutely everything, because most of us don't do what we do deliberately. We do it because we don't know what other way to do things, or because of the circumstances that we're in. We're met with challenges that we've never been in before, and for that reason, unconditional forgiveness is enormously important and has many benefits. And the best source of encouraging us to really do that is A Course in Miracles, and I encourage everybody to read A Course in Miracles and to do the daily lessons. So, as a very famous person called Jesus said, we reap what we sow, and Saturn is about really showing us what we need to be sowing based on our experiences. So I'm going to leave you now. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and found it interesting. Please leave comments if you'd like to, and please subscribe. I'm looking for subscribers at the moment. Thank you for listening to me. Take care. Bye-bye.